All right, let's jump right in. What if we could just rebuild the entire internet so that you, not some giant corporation, actually owns your own data? It sounds kind of crazy, right? Well, that's the core idea behind Web 4.0. It's this incredibly ambitious proposal from a group called Linkspreed. They want to put something called a sovereign identity at the very heart of a whole new web. So today, we're going to break down exactly what that means.
So what's the big problem they're even trying to solve here? Well, it's this endless, expensive scramble for users. You know how it is, right? Every new app, every platform has to start from zero, just fighting to get people to sign up. The folks behind Web 4.0 are basically saying, hey, this whole model, it's fundamentally broken.
And their solution? Whoa, it's radical. What if you didn't have to acquire users at all? What if the users themselves were the network? I mean, just think about that for a second. That's the core idea of Web 4.0. And look, if this thing actually works, it changes pretty much everything about how our digital world is built.
Okay, so to really get this, we've got to start right where they do, at the very bottom, at the foundation. A good way to think about it is like we're building a brand new digital city from the ground up, and the first thing we need to do is issue everyone an ID card.
And that foundation, that ID card, is called a UUID. It's the absolute cornerstone of this whole system. And I want you to forget about thinking of this as just another account or another login. No, this is supposed to be your own, truly sovereign digital self. Now, that word sovereign, that is the key here. See, your Google account, your Facebook account, a company owns that. They can suspend it, they can delete it. But a UID, the whole idea is that it's owned and controlled entirely by you. It becomes your universal key to unlock this entire new web. And with this one single key, you unlock a ton of practical power. I mean, just imagine this for a second. Instead of having dozens of different apps and accounts, every single piece of your identity, we're talking payment methods, your Metro Pass, maybe even your digital passport, it's all tied directly and securely to your one UID. It's this seamless identity that just bridges your digital and your physical life.
All right, so everyone's got their digital ID. Now it's time to build the city's core infrastructure, right? So let's move on to the next few layers and see how they plan to build the communications, the power grid, and even the roads of Web 4.0.
First up, we've got VVOEN. This is the communication network. Get this, instead of using phone numbers, you just call or chat with someone's UID. And it's designed to work all over the world using eSIMs, basically cutting traditional cell carriers out of the picture for basic communication.
Okay, next up is the power grid. In this part, layer 3, called Arctic, this is where that core idea we talked about, the user is the infrastructure, this is where it really comes to life. This is their decentralized system for all the storage and computing power.
So you know how the web today runs on these massive centralized data centers owned by like a handful of giant companies? Well, Arctic just flips that model completely on its head. It creates a network out of thousands, maybe millions of smaller devices, all owned by the users themselves.
So how does that actually work? Well, the idea is you could take some old hardware, like an old laptop or something, install their Arctic OS, and boom, you're contributing your device's power to the network. It's all secured by a blockchain, which really just means the data is spread out safely and transparently across all these different user-owned devices. There's no single weak spot, no single point of failure.
And the last piece of this whole backbone is layer 4, Helion. So if Arctic is the power grid, you can think of Helion as all the roads and street signs. This is the operating system, the browser, and the search engine that'll let you actually find your way around and use this new decentralized web.
Okay, so we've laid the foundation and we've built all the infrastructure. Now for the really exciting part, what can people actually do and create in this new digital city? Let's dive into the creator layers. Layer 5 is called TRIVE. And the best way to think about it is like a free and unlimited workshop just for builders and creators. It's basically a whole suite of software tools designed to let pretty much anyone build applications for Web 4.0. And the process they've laid out, it's designed to be just stunningly simple. Step 1, you log in with your UID. Step 2, you just describe what you want to build to an AI. They call it vibe coding, which is a cool name for basically just telling the AI in plain English what you want. The look, the feel, the function, all of it. And then from there, you just hit deploy and it's live on the Web 4 network. Now here's a really key innovation. They're talking about no traditional databases. And that's a huge deal because each user's UID has its own data storage built right in. One of the biggest headaches for any developer, setting up and managing a database, is just gone.
This could make it so much faster and easier for anyone to build new stuff.
Building on top of that, we get to layer 6, Atrium, which takes creation to a whole other level. This tool isn't just for building little apps. Oh no. It's for creating entire super apps. You know, those all-in-one platforms like WeChat that have messaging, social media, payments, everything, all rolled into one place.
And the claim they're making here is, well, it's pretty mind-blowing. They say you can build your own digital city for your community in just 30 seconds with a single AI prompt. They literally describe it as a decentralized, AI-powered version of a massive platform like WeChat, but one that anyone can create.
So the digital city is built. It's bustling with creators making all kinds of cool stuff. The big question is, how do you actually live in it? Well, this final section covers the physical hardware and how they plan to get this whole thing out into the world. And that brings us to layer 7, Winix. This is all about the hardware, the custom-built gear that's designed to be the main way we all interact with this Web4 ecosystem. Think of it as the physical gateway to this whole new digital world we've just been exploring.
So what are we talking about here? The lineup includes stuff like AR glasses that you control with a smart ring and a phone that comes preloaded with your UID. But honestly, the most interesting piece might be something they call the W4 book. It's like a personal microserver. And get this, it doesn't just use the network, it becomes part of the network. It actually contributes to that ACR-TIC compute backbone and can even host its very own super app. You're not just a user anymore, you're literally part of the infrastructure, right from your own home.
And the sheer scale of this ambition? Yeah, it's reflected in the numbers. They're targeting a total market size of $1.5 trillion. Let's be really clear here. This is not some little niche project. This is a dead serious attempt to fundamentally reshape the entire digital economy. Now, to get the ball rolling, their first target is a more focused $500 million opportunity. The plan? Attract about 50,000 early adopters by focusing on the identity and super app layers first. And that's actually a pretty clever way to solve that classic chicken and egg problem, right? You build the community, you build the user base first before you try to get them to buy a bunch of expensive new hardware. And all of this leaves us with the final, crucial question. Is this crazy 7-layer system the actual blueprint for a truly user-owned internet? Or is it just a vision so breathtakingly complex, with so many moving parts, that it might just collapse under its own weight? Whether this becomes our digital future, or just a really fascinating thought experiment, well, that's the massive challenge that they've got ahead of them.